Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. So back in March, Teardrop, aka Adam Montgomery, filed his appeal against the guilty verdict he received for murdering his daughter, Harmony. And the state has since replied, and WMUR just posted some tidbits about that. I'm trying to get a hold of the actual response from the state because you guys know how much I love to read the court documents, so I'm waiting for that to open up. I requested access for that. But in the meanwhile, we can go through the WMUR article with some of the highlights of what they had to say in their response to Adam and his team. So obviously this is WMUR 9. This is all their content. They covered Harmony's case extensively, and they continue to do so to this day. And there's also a couple other updates I'm going to mention in this video. So they posted this late today. New Hampshire officials respond to appeal filed by Adam Montgomery. I almost feel like I don't really want to say his name because the only name that should be spoken, in my opinion, is Harmony. That's why I love the moniker that Brooks, my friend Brooks, and some of the CLL community over there came up with early on, of calling him Teardrop due to his teardrop tattoo, obviously. So again, this is WMUR, their content. The state of New Hampshire has responded to an appeal by lawyers for Adam Montgomery. Sorry, I said it again. The state of New Hampshire has responded to an appeal by lawyers for Teardrop, who was convicted of murdering his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony. Teardrop and his team appealed to the New Hampshire Supreme Court to have his convictions overturned. And I'm sure they looked at the appeal and they're like, yeah, kiss my behind. Okay? Because that's what I would have to say. It probably wouldn't be as nice from some of them because they, especially the original attorneys, they did amazing work on this case, and the detectives and everyone involved in Harmony's case. Now, the appeal focused on 3 things. The first one is whether the court made a mistake by denying Montgomery's motion to separate the second-degree assault and the second-degree murder charges. I don't think that they made a mistake at all, because really, when it comes down to it, it's all together. He assaulted her, which ended up in her ultimate death. So I think combining them made sense in that regard. Not to mention, I mean, let's put it this way: it saved the state some money in 2 trials. The second one is whether the court made a mistake by admitting certain evidence as essential to the charged crimes. So this is why I'm really interested in reading more of the detail, the documents themselves on these, because I'm not understanding about which certain evidence. I'm assuming maybe the maternity bag, the cooler. I don't know if that's what they're alluding to. As far as certain evidence. And the third one is whether the court made a mistake by admitting video evidence showing an encounter between Teardrop and police on December 31st, 2021. So yeah, he wasn't happy when they showed that. Remember how he was living in his car with his girlfriend, who later sadly OD'd, and they pulled him aside and they were asking him, where's your daughter? And he says, I'm not talking about any of this crap. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, because, Adam, Teardrop, he thinks he's better than everyone else. Of course, he's had some rough justice happening while he's been in prison. We talked about that before, and you remember he got relocated due to all that. So the prisoners are not Teardrop's friends, especially when they found out why he was in prison and what he did to his sweet daughter. Yeah. So I have to say I really do love prison justice sometimes, because they gave it to him, really. So in response to the appeal, state prosecutors said that the lower court did the right thing and that the decision should not be overturned. And the state has submitted its arguments to the New Hampshire Supreme Court. And obviously we know he was found guilty of killing his daughter, Harmony Montgomery, in 2019. And was sentenced to 56 years to life in prison. And yeah, sadly, Harmony's remains have never been found. And I doubt they'll ever be found, sadly, with what we know of what happened to her after he killed her. Everything that Kayla told law enforcement to get her deal, okay, all of that, which was very, very detailed, and I don't think I'm ever going to forget reading that probable cause affidavit. I think it's going to stick with me for, if not forever, for a very long time. That's why I want to look at this girl's beautiful face, because she deserved so much better, guys. She really, really did. But I think that in regards to this appeal, I'm pretty sure they're going to stomp it down and tell him to get his ass back in prison and just deal with it, buddy. Because really, he's got it easy compared to everything that he did to this sweet child. She was 5 years old. 5 years old. And so he decided to beat the living crap out of her because she would wet her pants. And she was screwed whether she asked to go or not. It didn't really matter, if she asked, "Oh, I have to use the bathroom." He would smack her, I'm sure, when she asked that. And if she didn't, he'd smack her because she went in her pants. The bottom line is, poor Harmony, she just didn't stand a chance, with Teardrop. And once they got into living in that car, I can't imagine her final moments. I really, really can't. And I really hope that Kayla, who's still out, by the way, she is still free, from last I heard. So I guess she's doing okay and following the rules, allegedly. I hope that she and Teardrop never forget the sounds that came out of her sweet little, out of Harmony, and the horror that was inflicted upon her. Unfortunately, I don't think that Teardrop really gives a crap about anybody but himself. Yeah. And the other update that I have is that Crystal has filed another wrongful death lawsuit, because really, what else can she milk out of, folks? How much more money can she milk out of her daughter's death when she really wasn't there for her, really, ever? So this is Boston 25 News, and they posted this a couple weeks ago. So this was the end of July. So she filed for this just a bit ago. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not shocked, because she's a taker. Crystal's a taker. And she doesn't deserve a damn penny from any of this. She really doesn't. So again, this is Boston 25 News. They're stating that Harmony Montgomery's mother, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, okay, guys? You can visualize me doing air quotes here, okay? Has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the young girl's father, that's also in air quotes, who was convicted of second-degree murder for beating the 5-year-old to death and then hiding her body. In the complaint filed in Hillsborough County Superior Court, Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, claims Teardrop failed in his parental duties by abusing Harmony and causing her death. No shit, Sherlock. Teardrop was convicted of second-degree murder for Harmony's death in 2024. Kayla Montgomery, Adam's wife, she testified that her husband killed Harmony on December 7th, 2019, while the family lived in their car after being evicted from their home. Obviously, these are the facts that we know, and they are facts. And if you happen to be watching this and you're not as familiar with this case, I have an entire playlist on Harmony, and please check out the information of this video to check it out. Anyway, Kayla obviously testified that her husband repeatedly punched Harmony in the face and head because he was angry that she was having bathroom accidents in the car. Can you imagine? 5 years old. Yeah. Teardrop maintained his innocence in the girl's murder, but his attorneys acknowledged his guilt on 2 lesser charges. Gee, thanks, guys. He claimed he purposely and unlawfully removed, concealed, or destroyed her corpse and falsified physical evidence, but said he didn't kill his daughter. So, do you think he's in denial, or do you think he's just like, yeah, I don't give a crap, so I'm just never going to tell you? Just like I'm never going to tell you where her remains are, and I believe he put them in multiple locations, but he's not going to tell anyone any damn thing. And that's just disgusting. Okay, I'm not thinking that Crystal needs the closure. I feel like Harmony deserves, for them to find anything. I don't know if there's anything to find, but if there is, Harmony deserves that. But in Teardrop's mind, she doesn't deserve a damn thing. Yeah. And then of course they're talking about how Crystal, she received a $2.25 million settlement with the State of New Hampshire Division for Children, Youth, and Families, DCYF, in May, following a wrongful death lawsuit for the senseless and preventable death of Harmony. Yeah, we went through that on the channel as well. And remember, she's going to get a percentage, but the siblings get some, and I still think she doesn't deserve a damn penny. But, yeah, and there she is right there. And they're mentioning again that to this day, Harmony's body has yet to be recovered. I really wish he would say something, but as we know, Adam is all after himself. He could care less about this sweet child here. He didn't care about her. She was a meal ticket. It was all about the money for him and Kayla when he got custody of Sweet Harmony. It was all about the money. And the final thing I wanted to mention is there have been advocates that are pushing for legislative action in honor of Harmony, and I think this is really good stuff. So here is a piece again by Boston 25 News.
Advocates for child welfare reform once again asking the legislature to create a commission to study how child care and protection cases are handled in Massachusetts, all in the wake of the Harmony Montgomery case. 25 Investigates has followed this push since 2022. The Harmony Commission is named after 5-year-old Massachusetts foster child Harmony Montgomery, who was murdered by her biological father, Adam Montgomery, in New Hampshire. She was in the custody of Massachusetts Department of Children and Families for years before a judge granted custody to Adam in 2019, a convicted felon with a history of violence.
Yeah, and we could go on and on about that judge too. And I would love to in a future video. That judge should have to answer for that decision, but I don't think he's ever going to. And he's retired officially, but last I heard, he is still substituting for judges when they're on vacation and such. Yeah, after he's not on his yacht. Yeah.
Adam now convicted of beating her to death later that year. On Tuesday at the State House before the Joint Committee on Children and Families, advocates once again urged the commission be created to help safeguard children's best interests while balancing the rights of parents.
Also asked that the committee, if formed, would address structural problems, and in particular, the representation of children in these cases, which is not only dangerous to children, but put Harmony Montgomery in harm's way.
As 25 Investigates has reported, the day custody was granted to Adam Montgomery, Harmony had no voice in that courtroom who spoke up on her behalf. This is the third time the Harmony Commission has gone before lawmakers.
And I'm hoping that the third time's a charm for this, because this Harmony Commission is very, very much needed. It's needed in Massachusetts, New Hampshire. It's needed in every state. Obviously, you got to start somewhere. And Harmony, like they just said, she did not have somebody speaking for her. And these judges they're not always doing what's right for these kids. And in this case, not even close. And I also blame Crystal, but there's so much blame to go around, with Harmony's case. But somewhere, sometime, it's got to stop. And these kids need the help. I mean, obviously her case is extreme. It's not normal for a child to be missing for a period of time, a great period of time, and then all of a sudden, people realize, oh, this kid's been missing for a couple years. Although there's one that just came out, and I just heard about in the last few days, and apparently there's another child who's been missing since 2022. How the hell does this happen, guys? How does that happen in this day and age? Now, I still don't give the excuse of the whole pandemic thing during Harmony, but that was in there. But the fact remains is these children should have, don't they have grandparents, uncles, aunts, others? Aren't they wondering, hey, where's my grandbaby at? I want to send them a Christmas gift, a Christmas card, birthday card, what have you, okay? So they should never slip through the cracks. And a lot of them do. Again, this one was an extreme case, and I'm sad that we're seeing another one that just reminded me of Harmony the moment I read the details of it. But these kids need someone in those courtrooms to advocate for them. So this Harmony Commission is very needed. And I'm hoping and praying, like I said, that the third time is a charm and this gets approved. But yeah, so that's what I've got for all this today. You guys know I'm going to keep track of this because I am 1,000% in 100%, 1,000%, whatever you want to put on it, for Harmony. And yeah, I'm keeping the image up, Justice for Harmony, because while, Teardrop, he was found guilty, he's appealing. This is, it sadly doesn't seem to end in a lot of these cases. And we need to keep supporting and advocating for them in any way that we can. And I mean, her case just really, it's broken my heart from the moment I heard about it. So I will always be on Harmony's team. Always. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.